What if I told you that God has already scheduled the exact day your waiting ends? Not approximately, not someday, a specific appointed moment, already written, already sealed, already approaching, and right now there are signs appearing in your life that most people mistake for ordinary days. But they are not ordinary. They are signals. The problem is this: most believers miss the end of their waiting season because they are looking for a dramatic announcement. They want thunder. They want a voice from the sky. But that is not how God works. He ended Joseph's prison sentence with a forgotten cupbearer suddenly remembering. He ended Israel's wilderness season with a river that stopped flowing. He ended Hannah's barrenness with a priest who initially accused her of being drunk. The shift is never what you expect, but it always comes with signs, if you know what to look for. And today, I'm going to show you 8 signs that your season of waiting may finally be ending. If sign number 6 is happening in your life, your breakthrough is closer than you think. Most people confuse it for a setback. Before we begin, I need you to understand something about how God transitions people between seasons. He does not flip a switch. He turns a dial. The change is gradual, and it starts in the invisible before it manifests in the visible. By the time you see the breakthrough, God has already been arranging it for months, maybe years. Ecclesiastes 3:11. He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has also set eternity in the human heart, yet no one can fathom what God has done from beginning to end. Beautiful in its time, not early, not late, in its time. And the signs I am about to share with you are the evidence that God's timing, the one you have been waiting for, crying for, praying for, is finally arriving. Do not skip any of these. Check them against your own life. If you recognize 3 or more, listen carefully. The season is shifting beneath your feet, even if you cannot see it yet. Sign number 1. And this is the one that tricks almost everybody. Things just got harder. The resistance increased. What was difficult became nearly impossible. And your first thought is, God must be saying no. But I need you to hear this. Sometimes the greatest opposition appears at the final hour, not the first. Think about Pharaoh. God sent Moses. Deliverance was decreed. And what happened? Pharaoh doubled the workload, made it worse. Bricks without straw. The opposition intensified at the exact moment freedom was closest. Exodus 5:9. Make the work harder for the people so that they keep working and pay no attention to lies. The enemy does not fight what is not a threat. If nothing in your life is being opposed, nothing in your life is about to be born. But when opposition suddenly increases without explanation, when the attacks become frantic and desperate, that is not a sign that God abandoned you. That is a sign that something the enemy fears is about to be delivered. The resistance is a reaction to what is coming, not what is past. Sign number 2. Here is something remarkable. The area where you are being tested most heavily right now, it is not random. It is the subject of your final exam. If God promised you influence, you are being tested in humility. If God promised you provision, you are being tested in generosity while you have nothing. If God called you to lead, you are being tested in how you follow. The test always matches the territory. Abraham was promised a son. His final test before the fullness of that promise? Sacrifice the son. The test was in the area of the promise, not outside of it. Genesis 22:12. Now I know that you fear God, because you have not withheld from me your son, your only son. If you are being severely tested in the exact area God spoke to you about, do not interpret that as failure. That is your graduation exam. The diploma is on the other side of this specific obedience. When the test matches the promise, the breakthrough is scheduled. Sign number 3. A stranger says something that echoes what God told you 3 years ago. A verse you open to randomly answers the question you prayed about that morning. A song plays that uses the exact words you have been hearing in your spirit. A door opens that nobody pushed, small, quiet, easy to dismiss as coincidence, but they keep happening, and they are accumulating. These are not coincidences. They are divine breadcrumbs, confirming you are still on the right path and the destination is near. God does not waste confirmations. He sends them when you need to know that what He promised is still active. Isaiah 43:19. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? Do you not perceive it? The question implies it is already happening. The new thing is already springing, but it requires perception. If confirmations are quietly multiplying around you, perceive them. Your waiting is not ending someday, it is ending now. Sign number 4. Something you were holding on to just got taken away. An opportunity you were clinging to disappeared. A plan B you were keeping in your back pocket, God removed it, and it felt like loss. But here is what is actually happening. God is clearing the runway. A plane cannot take off on a runway filled with obstacles. God removes what does not belong in your next season. And sometimes that feels violent. It feels like rejection. It feels like things are falling apart. But things falling apart and things being cleared away look identical from the ground. Acts 16:6-7. Paul and his companions traveled throughout the region of Phrygia and Galatia, having been kept by the Holy Spirit from preaching the word in the province of Asia. When they came to the border of Mysia, they tried to enter Bithynia, but the Spirit of Jesus would not allow them to. Door closed again. Paul was redirected, not rejected. Every closed door pointed him toward Macedonia, toward his destiny. If wrong doors are suddenly closing firmly around you, without your effort, that is not punishment. That is positioning. God is clearing what is incompatible with where you are going next. Sign number 5. This is the strangest sign, and it confuses everyone who experiences it. Part of you is deeply at peace. You trust God. You believe the promise. You are not anxious in the way you used to be, but another part of you is restless, stirring, ready. Something in your spirit is pacing, not from doubt, but from holy anticipation. It is the feeling of a woman 9 months pregnant. She is not anxious about whether the baby exists. She knows. But she is restless because the delivery is imminent. The peace and the restlessness are not contradictions. They are confirmations. Romans 8:19. For the creation waits in eager expectation for the children of God to be revealed. Eager expectation, not anxious dread. If you feel simultaneously at peace about the promise and restless for its arrival, your spirit is sensing proximity. The waiting room is not where you live anymore. You are in the hallway. The door is ahead. Sign number 6. And this is the one most people confuse for a setback. Friends are drifting. Connections that once felt vital are going quiet. People you expected to be with you in the next chapter are suddenly absent. And it did not end in a fight. It just faded. And it hurts, because it looks like loss. But God never takes someone from your life without reason, especially at the edge of a new season. The people who were assigned to your waiting room are not always assigned to your throne room. Some were there to keep you company in the cave. But the palace requires different people. 1 Samuel 22, 1-2 tells us David's cave companions were distressed, in debt, and discontented. They were the right people for the wilderness. But when David became king, his inner circle changed completely. If people are falling away without conflict, it may not be abandonment. It may be God clearing the stage for the next act. The cast is changing because the scene is about to change. Sign number 7. The shortcut you used to consider, it does not attract you anymore. The compromise that once seemed reasonable, you cannot stomach it now. The thing you would have settled for 2 years ago, you would not accept it today, even if it was offered. Something changed inside of you, and you may not have noticed how deeply. This is evidence of internal readiness. God does not release you into your promise until you can handle it without being destroyed by it. If the temptation has lost its power, it is because you have outgrown the version of yourself that needed it. Hebrews 5:14. But solid food is for the mature, who by constant use have trained themselves to distinguish good from evil. You have been trained. The waiting was not idle, it was formational. And the fact that old temptations no longer move you is proof that the formation is nearly complete. God is not waiting for your situation to change. He was waiting for you to change. And you did. Sign number 8, the final sign. And for many of you, this is the one you have been waiting for. After months, maybe years, of silence, God speaks again. Not a repeat of the old instruction. Something new. something specific, something that requires action. Joshua waited in the wilderness for 40 years, and then, one day, a new instruction came. Joshua 1:2. Moses, my servant, is dead. Now then, you and all these people, get ready to cross the Jordan River into the land I am about to give to the Israelites. Get ready. Cross. Now. Not wait more. Not be patient. Now. The new instruction signals the end of the waiting. If after a long season of silence God suddenly gives you a fresh word, a new direction, a specific next step, a go where there was once only stay, that is not a suggestion. That is the signal. The waiting is over. The instruction is the evidence. Move when God says move. I want to speak directly to you right now. If you are watching this video, it is not an accident. Something in you already knows. The season is shifting. You can feel it in your bones, even when your eyes cannot see it yet. Do not let the length of the wait convince you that the promise was canceled. God did not bring you this far to leave you. He did not plant a dream in you to let it die. He was building you for the thing while he was building the thing for you. Habakkuk 2:3. For the revelation awaits an appointed time. It speaks of the end and will not prove false. Though it linger, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay. It will certainly come, not might, not hopefully, certainly. And if you recognized 3 or more of these signs in your life right now, receive this. Your waiting season is not forever. It has an expiration date, and that date is approaching faster than you realize. If this spoke to your spirit, subscribe. Every week, this channel gives you scriptural wisdom to discern the seasons you are in and the God who is orchestrating them. Share this with someone still in the waiting room. They might be closer to the door than they know.